Okay, sorry. Just had to accept a friend request. To start this live, greetings everyone. Once again, Instagram is not cooperating with us. So we are going to be doing the show on Facebook and then posting onto Instagram afterwards if it'll let us. Anyways, welcome everyone. My name is Brendan Dwyer, and welcome to Wonders of Wellness on Wellness Wednesday. We are going to be joined by my friend Sophia, so she can discuss a business venture that she has been doing for the past few years with herbal wellness and discuss what the journey was like, as she is unfortunately closing her business to start new adventures, which I'm very excited to see where that takes her. So just got to... Sorry about that. I was just getting an audio call from her. She should be on in just a moment. Just waiting for her to pop on. Slow connection, that's... Oh, yeah, I already sent her an invite. Ah, here she is. There we go. Adding. Perfect.
Yay! Can
There we
you see
go.
me? Okay,
Yeah,
awesome. Awesome.
now I can see
Cool.
it.
Great. I've never done a Facebook Live before, so this is great that we're like utilizing this app too.
Yep, it's always good to have a couple of backup plans just in case.
Yeah, how's it going?
Going very nicely. The sun has just been coming in and out and in and out today. It's been a little cloudy, and then we get some rays.
Well, that's good. It's good to yeah, I mean it's spring. You're in Providence, right? Or in Rhode Island?
Yes, Providence, Rhode
Nice.
Island.
And that's where we met like 3 years
Yes,
ago.
we. Has it been 3 years now?
Mm-hmm. Like
Oh,
almost.
wow. Yeah. It was some kind of fair or music event that we met at, correct?
Yeah, it was in Providence. It was like a daytime like DJ thing, and yeah, I remember meeting you there.
Yes.
Yeah, and you,
Yes, and you told me about your big trip, your big plans to move to California and start your business.
and yeah, and here I am. I'm in California. It's so funny. Love it.
How's the weather treating you down there?
It's good. It's sunny. I mean, it's the thing with the weather in Southern California versus the Northeast is like if you're in the shade like I am right now, it's a little chilly, and then when you're in the sun, it gets really hot. So there's no humidity, so it just like whether you're in the sun or the shade is like kind of defines how you feel, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really nice. It's a good day today.
Okay. So to kick things off, I just want to ask, so how did this business venture of yours start? Can you explain it, the name of it, and what it's all about?
Yeah, sure. So Avraveda started. This is a little olive tree behind me. It looks like. Um, so it started as my last name is Avramedes, and the Avra comes from my last name, and then Ayurveda is the system of medicine that I started like creating based off of, and is kind of like what really informs my knowledge as somebody who is wellness oriented and likes to share wellness advice with other people and share my own. It's really loud here. I apologize. Um, yeah, I so Avraveda comes to it's the my last name coming together with Ayurveda, which is this ancient system of medicine from India that is also sister science to yoga and is all about diet and lifestyle and working with different herbs to balance yourself out and just finding ways to get your unique self into balance.
Awesome. Now, what was your like day-to-day work schedule like? Like, what did it entail?
So it really varies. So Ayurveda has it kind of started as this shop that I have been running since 2018, online shop, and it when I was really in like the hub of it, like right before the pandemic, and then even during the pandemic 2020 2021, my my daily like grind would look like I would wake up and I would do some of my own practices, and then it would either be like tending to plants or to a garden in the summertime, or like wild harvesting, doing a lot of that back on the East Coast where I have a lot of like plant friends that I know where to find them and where they grow. And then it would be a lot of like making products, so making tinctures, making oils, being in the apothecary, and then of course all the marketing, like the online, showing up online, the ability to go to markets and festivals and be present with community in that sort of way. However, since moving to California, that's changed a lot for me, and my like lens and priorities with Ayurveda have shifted a lot, moving more into a health coaching space and creating like containers for people who are looking for insight around like how to help themselves and help their bodies, um, and also teaching people how to make their own products versus making them for them. As much as I love making things for people, the move to California was really tough for me. Like I didn't think it was going to be so tough, but to upkeep a physical business, like upkeep products and things like that. And um, as you know, the reason why you asked me to do this, I mean, you've been asking for a while now, but this felt like a good time. So I'm closing my online shop, and the reason why I feel like I need to do that is because I feel like I haven't been giving it my all and like giving it that time, and I haven't had the same resources that I had on the East Coast to do what I just like mentioned, what like my daily routine was of like going on hikes and like finding plants and harvesting them. And then my routine living in a big city now in Los Angeles is a lot different than living in like a small town in Massachusetts that's absolutely gorgeous, and I love home so much. It's just now things have shifted for me, and I feel like my focus is more person based, and like how can I build in community with one-on-one interactions versus like creating solely with plants. Although like I will always be making things with plants. Like I'm still growing a bunch of stuff, and it's just a different sort of flow now, you know? So yeah, I'm honestly, to answer your question, like what does the day-to-day look like? I'm figuring that out now because it's been a while of kind of like teetering on the line of what the past was and like what the future holds. Oh, I think you're frozen.
Could you just repeat that last part? You just broke up a little there.
Yeah, I was just saying what what I'm feeling right now is I'm like in this like precipice between what the past was and you know on for Avraveda when I was on the East Coast and when I was creating a bunch of stuff all the time and going to markets and seeing my friends and doing all that stuff, and now what the future holds, you know, as I continue my journey living presently in Los Angeles and also having an amazing community on the East Coast, and like what I want to build moving forward. And closing my shop is really like kind of like an homage to the past, and just honoring what again what was, and now being like, okay, now I'm ready to step into whatever is being asked for me to do next.
Absolutely. So this isn't so much like if you were still on the East Coast, you might be continuing this. You're just looking for a more personal approach for healing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's more so, you know, Ayurveda as it is, like the name in its own, like I said earlier, like it has my last name in it, like Avra, and Veda in Sanskrit means study of or knowledge of or like science of. So like really like the name Ayurveda is like the study of Avra, which is like the study of myself. So Ayurveda continues to live on. It's just what form is it going to take, you know? And so even on the East Coast, there were many times where I was like, I think I have to close my shop. Like it might be time to close the shop and focus more on like education and workshops and things like that. And it feels very bittersweet because I love making things and selling them. Like I really do. I feel like I love creating and I love making art, and I feel like make a lot of herbal art. And that being said, yeah, I mean, so to answer your question, I don't think that if I was on the East Coast, I would be necessarily continuing. I think there would have been a time where I also decided it was time to close up shop and focus on expanding in a different way. I just think like it's very apparent here that that's what is I need to do at this time.
Now, what do you think is in store for your future? Are you going to try to study something like, say, Reiki or reflexology, or what kind of new healing practice are you going for?
Thanks for asking that. So there's a few different things that I'm interested in. I'm really interested in, you know, psychedelic therapy. That's been something I've been interested in for a long time. Looking at certain programs for that right now. And then my herbalism practice is going to just keep deepening. Like I have certain types of herbalism that I'm diving into that I haven't really shared with people, or, you know, certain preparations of herbs that take a lot more nuance and more practice and more it's that like that deep scientific study mixed with a spirituality. So I guess like furthering my education really looks like deepening my herbalism practice for myself first, and then, you know, to share with others, and then yeah, diving into different realms. Like I said, I'm really interested in psychedelic therapy. I'm interested in women's hormones. I've been like learning a lot about hormonal health and wellness, gut health, digestive health, things of that nature. And I do plan on sharing more of that. And I have a couple little like side projects I've been working on that I think are going to make their appearance, you know, under the Avraveda umbrella in the next couple of months. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, I just, wellness is really silly and fun and important. And I think like I'm working at figuring out a way to get, gain information and share it with people in a way that feels like, helpful, and not just like, yeah, I don't know. That's basically kind of where I'm at. Lots of study. I'm always learning, and I plan on spending more time learning after, the shop closes officially and I can just really focus on self-growth.
Now, for anyone who's interested, so has your shop officially closed? Like, have you done your final online orders, or are you in your final rounds of
Yeah,
them?
I'm in my final rounds right now. Um I I updated the shop about sorry, I'm gonna let this pass. Living in
No
a
worries, I
city.
got some of
Yeah.
your background noise here
Yeah.
too.
So I am in my final rounds. My shop update went live last Wednesday, so 1 week ago, and I got a really incredible onslaught of support in that, and I'm so grateful for it. Um, the shop is going to officially close, date TBA. It's going to be soon. I'm basically deciding if it's going to be in early May or late May right now. So I'm kind of like, today is the day that I'm making the decision. So I'll be sharing that soon. Um, and then the shop will be closed, and I'll still have some herbals accessible to people if there's like specific things they need. Like I will always be creating um, as an herbalist. It's just not going to be like online and easy to get to all the time. And so, yeah, my shop is still open, closing soon, and has some really amazing and checking it out.
Awesome. Okay, so what would you say are some of like your favorite products that you've made?
Could you repeat that? You cut out a little bit.
Sorry, what are some of your favorite products that you've made?
My favorite products. So it kind of, there's a lot. I love the things I make, honestly. Some of my favorite products I've made, I would say a lot of the body butters and body oils that I've made a very like big assortment of different oils over the years. And I think that some of the body oils I've made have just been like so magical and amazing for the skin and just help you like glow. I had one that I made a long time ago called the Sacred Venus body oil, and it was just like, I don't know why, but I think about it all the time. I don't even remember exactly what I put in it. It was like herbs of Venus, so like yarrow and rose and like different floral allies. And like I think it might have had a little cacao in it, and yeah, and then I also made an entire line for my 30th birthday. So that was coming up on 2 years ago, and I made a line called Cacao and Sparkles, and it was like inspired by my time in Guatemala. I lived there or I was traveling through there for about like almost 3 months with my partner Zach, and I brought home a lot of herbs from Guatemala and cacao and all these things, and so I made this like entire line of products that was based around my time in Guatemala. And those are some of my absolute favorites. They smelled so good, and they were just like so divine and like infused with the energy of like Lake Atitlan, and just, yeah. So I don't know, so many things. And then like all the tinctures, like I used to work primarily with cannabis and hemp. So my, Ayurveda started because of CBD and of a love for cannabis. And yeah, I definitely feel like I used to make a lot of elixirs that had cannabis and hemp infused into them. Some had THC, some didn't. And those were great too. Just different herbs to calm the nervous system down and to help feel really solid and secure.
Ooh, and a lot of those really sound nice.
Yeah.
What would you um, have? Now, have any like wellness practitioners, like massage therapists, ever bought your products to use on like their clients or anything?
Yeah, so I've had massage. I have one really great friend who she's bought tons of custom batches for me of salve um to use on her massage clients. And I've had a lot of, that's happened a few times. She's a very consistent buyer where she would, she buys big batches of stuff and I make it specifically for her. That's a shout out to my friend Sarah Fine at oh my gosh, I'm blanking. It's like I'm blanking on her name because she's changed her business name so many times. Oh, it's called the Restorative Path right now in
Ooh.
New York. And yeah, I mean, she's been an amazing supporter. I've had a great I've stuff has gotten carried at various shops, and I'm always very pleased when different healers can also operate utilized prepared. So yeah, that always feels good.
That is really cool. So I take it then these products are safe for anyone interested to use like on the whole body. Because I know like some essential oils they'll say, oh, you can put it on your wrist, but you can't put it on your feet. So, you there?
I'm could you repeat that question once more? I'm so sorry. I cut out again.
Oh, no worries. So, seeing as how massage therapists have
Yeah,
used
I'm
these
here.
products, that many they must be safe for like all parts of the bodies. Because I've had some essential oils where they'll say you can use them on the wrist, just not like on the feet or whatever. Did you get that? Hello? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just
Oh, all right. Moving along then. So, what would you recommend for someone like myself who, say, is a big fan of eucalyptus if I was to try some of your products?
um I am still having a really hard time hearing you. I'm so sorry.
Uh,
So you were saying something about putting products on the feet versus the wrists?
so, what would you recommend for someone who's, say, a fan of eucalyptus?
All right, let's try this question one more time. Can you ask it once more?
Ooh, sorry. Um, yeah. So, what would you recommend for someone who's a fan of eucalyptus from your product line?
Of eucalyptus. Okay, that's what you're saying. I'm so sorry. So
No
I
worries.
would recommend the rainbow, which is like loaded up with all sorts of herbs, including, including hemp. It has ashwagandha, it has plantain leaf, comfrey, um, so many different things in it that are good for pain relief. So the rainbow salve is like one of the, it's kind of like a magical pot of all sorts of different I think work well together that like help,
Ooh, that sounds really.
enhance. It has menthol and cayenne in it as well, and it's just yeah, it's really good for pain relief. It sold out actually. It sold out very quickly on my website when I just did this shop update. But that's one of those things that I'll like be making more of, and I'll be doing sneak updates like on my Instagram stories or Facebook store or wherever, so I'll still be making it, but that is scented with eucalyptus and lavender and like a little bergamot. And the eucalyptus is something that actually helps enhance the properties of the cannabinoids. So like the CBD, the THC, all of those things, they get enhanced by the eucalyptus. So I put that in that product.
Okay. Um, Now moving around to general wellness. Now, what what are some practices? Ooh, hold on. What are some practices that you like to participate in to help yourself feel better? Like massage therapy, reflexology. Like, what's your ideal like wellness day?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I mean, my ideal day in general would be waking up and having like 2 hours of morning time to myself to just take care of my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health. So, I mean, definitely like waking up and doing a movement practice, be it like doing going on a really like calm morning walk or doing a yoga practice. I really love yoga and I've always loved yoga. And I think it's something that's really important to integrate, like for me to have in my life. So yoga is a huge one for me. And then having some sort of meditative practice after movement. So, doing a seated meditation or a card pull or, a journaling practice. Those are all like things that help me feel connected to myself. And that would be like the daily goal of, having a yoga and meditation practice every single day. And I notice on days when I don't do that, I don't feel great. Like today was a little hectic for me. I didn't actually do my morning practices. And I feel like that might be why we're having so much technical, like it's like all like carrying, but I will get to those things later on today, because I know they're important. But as far as like practices of things like therapies I like to get from other practitioners, massage I think is incredibly important. I really like Thai massage, craniosacral therapy is something I'm leaning more towards, like more into. I have one of my best friends is a craniosacral therapist, and she's amazing. And I met one last night, and I just feel like that's a therapy that feels really important to me, and feels like it's very subtle yet like very helpful. So yeah, that those are some good ones. And then I really like going to spas and like doing like circuits, like hot circuits, cold circuits, getting in the sauna. And I feel like it sounds so, I feel like for a long time going to the spa sounded so like extra, like, oh, like I'm going to the spa, like that seemed like it was just so much more than it needed to be. But I'm realizing more and more how important it is to like sweat out toxins and like let things go. So yeah, I would say like those are practices that feel good. Honestly, I'm open to anything. I'm open to any practices that feel good in my body. Like I think movement and sweating is really important. I'm working on being more active. It's been a challenge of mine my entire life to have a regular exercise routine. And so I'm actively like calling that into my life and having, ways to get out my physical energy so I can focus my like mental energy more. Um but yeah, those are some like I guess diehards that I really love. I would say like yoga, massage, sauna, sweating, getting outside in nature, like that obviously, like that goes without saying. That's one of my absolute complete resets is, just being in nature. Um I think that psychedelics are really helpful, and I like, small doses or bigger doses for like in a very conscious way for resetting. And I feel called to that more lately. Yeah. So that's kind of, I think that there's a lot of therapeutic tools out there. It's just learning how to use them is important.
Now, it's funny you mentioned nature and resetting yourself. Do you do earthing a lot when you're out in nature?
Yeah, I love earthing. I was earthing last night and it was cold. It was really cold out. I mean, it wasn't that cold, but it was cold. And I needed to, so I just had my shoes off anyway. I was at a friend's like little tea temple last night, and we were gonna actually sauna and cold plunge, and then we didn't end up doing that. But we I just like had my feet off in the grass or my shoes off in the grass, and yeah, I try to get some of those negative ions from the earth as much as possible. And I'm very lucky that I have a really really nice backyard here in LA, and there's a really beautiful big patch of grass in my backyard, and I can just go out there and earth whenever. And yeah, so I do love earthing for sure. I feel like I feel the effects almost instantly.
Especially on nice soft grass. Like I can't do it on anything too rugged, but something soft and gentle always feels nice.
100%. Yeah, the really rough grass is like, ooh, and it's like more likely to be cold, I feel, when it's like that hard grass. But yeah, earthing's great.
Now, have you tried reflexology at all?
I, I haven't actually done too much reflexology. I'm curious about it. I think it could be very helpful.
Yes, I do it. I treat myself on my birthday once a year to it and highly recommend it if you ever get the chance.
That's really good advice. I'll definitely look into that. That's great advice. I'll see if I can find a good reflexologist nearby.
Now, are there any like strange spa treatments that or any general spa treatments you've haven't gotten the chance to try yet that you've always been curious about?
That's a good question. I feel like I need to dive a little deeper into what's out there. I mean, I've gotten some really amazing oil massages. I guess like getting like a massage with like by multiple people sounds incredible. I know that that's like an Ayurvedic massage technique, and I think just a massage technique in general. So like, I think having like five or I'm like five hands, four hands on me would feel really good. Just like having, two people working on me. um and I don't know. I mean, like I said, I would be down to try like pretty much anything that doesn't seem like it would harm my body. I am open to stuff. A lot of the time, the reason why I think people don't get really into the different therapies is because they can be expensive, and I myself have like definitely, I think, like stopped myself from getting the therapies that I might need because I don't want to spend money on them. And I'm really working on changing that perspective and like moving from scarcity in that space into more abundance, because I do know like the better I feel, the more likely I am to like help others, and the more likely I am to like be good at what I do. So I'm really working on that, but I do have to admit, like, part of the reason why I'm not like as well versed in like all the different, treatments out there is because like sometimes I actively like avoid learning about them because I'm like, I don't want to pay for it. So but that being said, I think that that's like, again, a perspective that I choose to release, and like I'm very curious about trying stuff out. And yeah, yeah, and calling in more of a budget to be able to like regularly get treatments. I think it's really important.
It's funny you mentioned like the multi-hand massage because I did have that once a few years back around my birthday, and it was like such a relieving experience because it's like you can have people working on one area you love while working on another area you love, and it doesn't feel like you ever lose any time. And not only were they like massaging me with their hands, they were also like walking on me. They were doing like double. Have you ever heard of ashiatsu?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I basically have got like someone like standing on my back while someone else is like working on my feet with their feet, and it's like it gets in deep, but it doesn't like hurt in that uncomfortable way. It's like that good hurt where you feel great afterwards.
I love that. Yeah, there's someone here in LA. My partner Zach went recently and got like a really, really incredible like Thai slash shiatsu massage, and he was just like over the moon after it. And I'm like, I need to go get one. So that this just reiterates that. I really appreciate that.
And in case anyone who's seeing this is wondering, they always keep them clean so you can check beforehand because there are, of course, the sanitary questions that people would have about people doing that kind of practice.
Yeah, like stepping on you. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Um, Now, what first got you into herbal medicine, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so I got into herbal medicine, got into herbalism as a practice because I was a really big stoner and I really loved weed. And I then started studying Ayurveda, and Ayurveda like basically like showed me that like every herb has, you know, different qualities to it, and sometimes those qualities can help either build you and help you heal and balance you out, or they can deplete you. And I realized that cannabis is an herb that's really powerful and also has the power to deplete. So I started making herbal remedies that had cannabis in them alongside other herbs that balance the cannabis out. You know, so for instance, cannabis is very like hot, it's very heating. It has a heating quality in the body, and it's very drying. So it's a drying out quality. And so I would add, like when I first started, I was like, oh, so what are herbs I can add that are going to have like more moistening and cooling qualities? So things like marshmallow or licorice or oats, right? Or like aloe or coconut, like things like that. So I that was kind of how I started learning about like blending herbs together, and then my curiosity about different herbs started blooming more. And yeah, now I just love them and I see them everywhere and I love to learn about them. Like this is olive, and this is an herb. This is a plant, a tree that's everywhere around Los Angeles. And I'm learning a lot about different plants out here. Like olive is really good for like respiratory stuff. I have an olive leaf glycerate that I made that, you know, is not on my website actually, but it probably should be. But like I just love learning about them, and that's the thing when I, you know, with the shop closing for now, for as long as it's going to be closed, um, like I will never stop learning about plants. You know, like I keep saying that. I'm like, this is never going to end. Like I'm curious about herbalism. Once you start, it's just not going to stop. So yeah.
That's really cool. Now, I'm trying to think what else was there. What would you say was some of the most rewarding experiences of your career?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them haven't come yet. Like, I think a lot of my rewarding experiences are still on the way, but I would say that some of the most rewarding experiences I've had so far have been, you know, getting feedback from people that the things that I've made have had a positive impact on their life, and that they have tools that they utilize when they're feeling down, and they help them. They help them sleep, they help them with their pain, they help them connect with other people. Um, I would say that some of the collaborations that I've been lucky to do, and I'm calling in a lot more collaboration as well, is one of the most rewarding things. Just working with other people, other creatives, helping them build their business, watching my business grow because of the work I do with them. So I would say just like on the entrepreneurial, you know, wins and achievements I've had through working with other people have been really rewarding. And then just like, I don't know, like, you know, seeing the smiles on people's faces when they see spaces I create, or like my family, like being proud of me for like putting myself out there and doing something different, you know, like that means so much to me, and I don't think that's going to end. Like I have a very passionate spirit, and I'm planning on continuing and just getting growing versus, but like again, I felt like I needed to close this chapter so I could open my next one.
Absolutely. Now, do you think you're going to be ever coming back to the East Coast at all? Like, even if it's not moving back, just like coming back on a trip, or
Yeah, I come back about every 6 months or so. Yeah, so I'm back on the East Coast pretty, no, I wouldn't say regularly, but I definitely like spend some time out there. I don't go back for as long as I'd like. I'm usually only there for a week or, a week, maybe a few more days after, like past a week. But I love the East Coast. It's my home. I love being an East Coaster in California. I think it's a total like win, and I think there's power to it, and I love the East Coast. It's my home, and now
awesome.
California is becoming my home too, and I love it here too, like, but my family's back there, so.
Is it a wild readjustment to go from such a smaller state area to like one of the biggest in the country?
Oh yeah, I mean, it took me like, probably took me 2.5 years. Like, I think I just started feeling like I live here, and I've been here for almost 3 years. um Yeah, this was a huge, like, moving out to California is definitely the hardest thing I've ever done, for sure. Especially as an adult. I did it right before I turned 30. Um yeah, definitely not an easy feat, but I feel very proud of myself and grateful that I did this, and I'm very inspired to grow as a human and like just keep kicking ass, and I think being here is very inspiring for me.
Um, I'm curious, do you prefer like self-treatment where you do something for yourself to heal, or do you prefer like physical treatment where someone else is like doing something for you, like massaging your own foot versus someone else massaging?
Interesting question. I like both. I think they serve different purposes. I think when you like give yourself love and you massage yourself, that's you connecting deeper with yourself. And I think that's you building relationship with yourself and feeling into what parts of yourself need love, and it's very vulnerable, and you kind of see where you're walled up or closed up. So I think there's a lot of therapeutic value to self massage. Um, and then I think when you receive from another person, be it a friend or a partner, lover, massage therapist, that's the art of receiving, and taking something that someone's giving you and utilizing it. And I think that they both serve a lot of benefit and purpose in medicine, and yeah, I really feel like they both are really important. I think
Okay,
self touch is important. I think receiving touch from others is also important.
okay, just a couple more questions. What advice would you give to someone looking to start like their own herbal business?
Oh, well, it's really rewarding. Don't take more than you need from the earth. That's really important. I think the earth really works in reciprocity, and if you're going to take, feel like I gave back enough. I think there's been times where like I've really like benefited from working with the earth financially, or with capitalism, and like not necessarily tended to my own garden as much as I could have. But like, first and foremost, like, if you're going to be working with the plants, you have to make sure you have a relationship with them, and that you're working with plants that you understand, and like, if you don't understand them, wanting to understand them and get to know them. um and yeah, just go slow. Like, everything in life is always so rushed. Like, we don't have to rush. And again, like, herbalism is one of the most rewarding practices, I personally think. on the planet. So it will take you everywhere. It brings you at home in yourself, no matter where you are. Like, I love traveling. And I think once you become in tune to like looking at what's around you, like you feel at home everywhere. Um, so yeah, to someone who's aspiring to start a business, I would say just be be in reciprocity with the earth as much as you can, and with the earth that's your body as well.
Okay, just two more now. The first, what would you just say are some other great alternative medicines? Like a lot of people will say laughter is the best medicine for you. What are some other types of uh, therapeutic commodities people can use? Did you get that?
Yeah, I think laughter is a great medicine. I would actually say laughter and humor. I think like having a sense of humor, smiling, laughing, playing is really important. Being able to break out of like ego as much as you can, as difficult as it is. I think having really good, really good physical practices like that exert your body, and breath work, like learning how to breathe is very important. Um, so many of us don't know how to breathe properly, myself included. A lot of the time, I forget to breathe. So breath work is a huge one, and just community. I mean, I just think people like that, having friends around, like that's having family, having people that love you and see you, and being able to love and see people, I think is really important, and honestly very challenging sometimes. And I do believe that that's one of the best medicines that's out there, is just connecting with other people.
Awesome. Now, to finish up, is there anything you'd like to say to your followers, your loyal clientele, as you close this chapter of your life?
Yeah, I would love to say thank you. I would love to say I can't believe that I was able to have this, to sell so many bottles of things that I've made with, and to receive so much love. And I'm just insanely grateful for the wisdom of my people, and for their love and their generosity, and just their appreciation. Like you literally can't do this without other people. I'm gonna get teary eyed. But
Oh,
like
no,
yeah, I'm just like beyond beyond grateful for the people who have supported me. And I know who will continue to support me in whatever ventures I have coming in the future. And it's so loud. And you know, if I I want to be of a better support system as well. And if there are any ways that I can support the people who have been so supportive of me for so long, I want to. So yeah, that's it. Like here's I'm excited for what's to come, and I'm so grateful for what I've gotten to create up to this point with community, you
well,
know.
thank you so much for sharing that. You've basically been our Mother Earth for going on so many years now. I don't know if anyone's ever called you that, but I feel like that's a good name as well.
That's so funny. The juice that I'm drinking right now is called the Mother Earth. That's so funny. And I added ginger to it. But yes, it's very good. Thank you for saying that. Mother Earth is the mother, you know, she's the mother, and we're really lucky to be able to work with. And thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on, Sophia. I hope to see you again next time you're down here in the East Coast. Shoot me a message so we can reconnect.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your patience too, and for like, you know, being resilient, and just being like, hey, when's the right time to have this Wellness Wednesday or like interview? And think it was the perfect time. So thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you to everyone who watched. Sorry we couldn't do this on Instagram. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with that app because there's something not right with it. But it was a pleasure to have you on. I'm so glad we could talk about your journey. And I know many people will be sad to see it end, but also excited to see what comes next for you.
Yeah, I mean, Avraveda will continue to exist. I'm just closing my shop, so I'll still be there, you know?
Right. Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much
Well, thank you
for
so
your
much.
time. All right, I'm
Absolutely.
excited to
Happy to
rewatch
have you
this.
on. Until next time.
Until next time.
Have a good one.